Good, thank you. So the first thing you notice on screen is obviously it's personalized. So these are my children, my kids here. And very quickly here you can see time, and you can pretty much see the important information that I can kind of display on the lock screen itself. So in this case, it's the Wi-Fi is connectivity, and then if I have any new information, it shows up here. So without me logging in, okay? So that's the first thing, the lock screen. So let me try to log in this time. So I'll just flip it up, and so hence it comes out into the start screen. Okay, so this is the start screen. So this is fast and fluid. You can pretty much see the way that this works, and fast and fluid, and then and you can pretty much see that these are the live tiles, and with live tiles, these are live information that gets streamed. So for example, if you look at the weather, the sports, you can see the live tiles rotating, and essentially what that rotates are new information or updated information through the connection. Now what's exciting about this, when I talked about no compromise itself, is I can have this device, which is essentially a means for me to use keyboard and mouse, right? And what I could do with this too is to essentially convert this into a tablet, so that I can then go into a mobile phone. So now this becomes a tablet for me. And again, fast and fluid, is touch enabled, and with all my favorite apps enabled to it. Yeah, see that? So that's in its own form factor, and you can pretty much hold and feel it, but that's a tablet. So hence, keyboard and mouse, and I can convert that very quickly into a tablet, which I can then take and walk around and move. And then once I'm ready with it, I'll plug that back in when I need a keyboard scenario. Okay, so and with devices like this, you could actually rotate the screens. Rotate the screens. Okay. So that's exciting. So let me show you other things too. If you look at this too, this is that screen, and I'll show you some of the apps here. Very quickly, you can see if I pull up an app that loaded, this is the new Bing screen. So you can pretty much see the image is nicely immersive. It's immersed into the Chrome. It's Chromeless. It takes over the whole screen, so it's beautiful. So this is the Windows Store, where we have new Windows 8 UI-based apps. I'll show you an example of Windows UI-based apps. So this is Skype. So what I'm doing here is essentially I'm flipping through a few of the apps that I have loaded. So one of these you would probably recognize. This is Bing Travel. So this is in Kuala Lumpur. So you can pretty much see how beautiful those apps are. So when we talk about it being beautiful, you can basically see the images, right? The images and how this takes place on Windows 8. Let me show other things. So that's Bing, and then here is Channel News Asia. So from a news perspective, you can see how again it's a very different style of application that we have built into Windows 8 UI. That again takes advantage of the technology, takes advantage of touch, fast and fluid, and also the design of the apps. Okay. So let me pause here for a while and kind of take some questions, and as we go. And I'll be happy to show you more Windows 8.
What's your comments on users who are now using Windows 7 and transitioning to a completely new environment like Windows 8?
Yes.
I know there's a dual mode where you have tablet-based UI, and also you have desktop.
Yeah.
How do you think or expect users to react to it?
Okay.
Professional users.
No, that's a great question. Thanks for that. So essentially, with Windows 8, we started the first preview close to a year ago, and that was the developer preview, and then subsequently it was the consumer preview. Across the board, we now have about 16 million consumers, users have downloaded, tested it. So, and part of the whole testing is we wanted to really understand the usage scenarios, and we've been very, very happy. And before we even released it, we basically addressed that. So, 16 million, that's a huge number. In fact, it's a lot bigger than the Windows 7 beta users. So that's the first one. And second one is important because the ability to kind of pull up the charm. So if you use it before, there's this charm here that gets you to your start as well as search and all that. What we ensure is out of the box experience. the first time when someone buys it and he opens the box, it's all intuitive, right? So the ability to kind of do this and say, okay, here's my charm, the ability to now flip through the different apps like this, right, are very important on how. Also, this is an iProperty app. If you haven't seen your Malaysia iProperty app, isn't it nice? Yeah. I really like this one. So essentially, when you do this is. So again, the out-of-box experience. So someone opens it. How does he start? And the experience of getting logged on and sign on and all that. We have made extra effort to make sure that's very, very easy. Now, once that's online, just like me, you probably take about 10 to 15 minutes to be able to figure that one out. How do I close an app? How do I pull an app? How do I do this? If I want to open IE, how do I do that? If I go to the store, if I click on this, it goes to the store, right? So that's important. So that's what we were doing a lot, is to ensure that the outdoor experience is really important. Now then, the other thing is online. So a lot of things that, there's a lot of videos, tips and tricks online, even in our Windows fan club, in our Windows pages that we will have for people to navigate and learn how to use Windows 8. So as I said, it's a good point because in some cases this is new. I mean, Windows 8 in many cases is built for our lives today, right? As I said, again, it's mobile, it's keyboard and all that, but also from an app perspective, it's all these apps that matters to me. So that's new. So essentially, we are taking a lot more effort to do that. Okay.
What about apps? Like, I mean, people who are moving from, let's say, Windows 7, they would be so used to having the start button there, and they're launching their Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, and how is that experience with someone moving from that to a Windows 8 device?
Right, okay. So I think similarly, I mean, again, the thing is, it's the no compromise computing experience. And that does mean that we are building a new consumer experience. And with new consumer experience means that there is some learning, right? There's some learning. So as I mentioned, we are taking efforts to ensure that new users knows how to use the charm and find the things that matters to them. But you're right, there is also the desktop mode, where when you click on the desktop mode, you get everything that you're familiar with, right? Whether it's the File Explorer, the Internet Explorer, and then your Office. What's important too is that people who has Windows 7 applications today, it runs on Windows 8. Most of the apps runs on Windows 8, so you can still do that. Right? So that's key. Now the other thing that's also very important is that if you look at this particular device itself, you will have USB, you have mini SD, you will have things that you're familiar with. How do you print? You plug a USB thing on it, or you have mini SD to it, and all the different interface. So for a person who's on a PC today, those things that they are familiar with, like for example printing, it's it's basically the same experience on a Windows 8 device.
Sure. Sorry, I'm like holding the questions.
Please, good conversation.
When it comes to applications, for instance, if you're going to buy a retail box version of let's say Microsoft Office, how would that be applicable into an environment like Windows 8 in the Windows 8 UI, tablet UI?
Right.
How is that?
Okay.
How does that work?
Okay, so I won't be able to go detail into the Office itself, but as you know, Office 365 the cloud. There's also we're going to be releasing a new version of Office as well, and across the board, not only Office, like I showed you Bing just now. It's all, in many cases, we're adopting the whole Windows UI piece to it. So you will see it seamless, you'll see it immersive, you'll see it basically seamless to Windows 8.
So would you say it's a transitionary point for the desktop? I mean, eventually it would kind of migrate into a full Windows 8
into
UI.
more Windows 8 UI.
Would you say so?
Yeah. So in many cases, I think it's going back to the point about designing the platform for today and for the modern users. We feel in this scenario where it's touch, right? It's immersive. People want beautiful apps, images. That's what we have with Windows 8. right? So there are many cases like that. And for consumers itself, I mean, I have the star here as well in Malaysia and Straits Times and all that. You start to see that a lot more in the apps, right? People just enjoy doing that and using these type of apps. Then, having said that too, Windows 8 is also built for commercial users in the enterprise. So that's why in many cases there are scenarios in the enterprise that need security and management, right? So that's one of the things that we ensure that's still the first-class experience on the Windows 8, right? Again, you know, the IT pros and folks who needs to manage these devices, they have that capabilities. So that's the other thing that we have ensured that we optimize for Windows 8.
On tablet, how do we do screenshot?
Okay. What do you mean by screenshot?
Screen capture the whole
You want
desktop.
to print the screen.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I think
there's a
shortcut.
keyboard shortcut. Control Shift Print Screen.
Yeah.
Tapi kena but on the tablet?
Good question. I don't know.
Good question.
Okay. I need to get back to you. Okay.
Important question.
I suppose.
It's a very important question.
Yes.
I suppose perhaps you can there's a key, like a button combination.
There could be, but
with the
I need
home button.
Because Android is power and volume down.
Power and volume down.
And on iPad it will be
Power and
the home and power.
Then the Note 2 is like.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So let us take a note and let's follow up and get you the
How
answer to that.
many screens are we allowed? Like, okay, that's one, that's two.
Yeah.
So is there a limitation?
No, so it will go on and on. So what you do is, you know, semantic zoom. Have you seen semantic zoom? So basically what you do is
Very
this.
cool.
See?
Very cool.
So it's semantic zoom. So essentially it will go long, and you could, you know, the key thing is that, you know, you can have lots of apps just like me. The other thing is what you could do too is that you can categorize it like
So
this.
each page is a category.
Yeah, each page is correct.
So supposedly my apps will be longer, so my apps again and again.
And you know, this is sized this way, but you can essentially size it like this too, right? So you can size that. Now the other thing which is cool about this is that if you pull up Charm, you see this search. So on search,
Search your apps.
yeah, you search for your apps. Now what's interesting is this is contextual search. If I do search, I can do search on apps, I can search on store, and all my other things. So for example, if I search here, say Malaysia. Okay. So if I do a search on Malaysia apps, then it pops up there's an app there. Okay, let me go down. In settings, obviously nothing about Malaysia. Let's go to store. If I click on store, so what it does, what's doing right now, is going to the store and pick apps that it's Malaysia. See?
Yes. Most popular app.
Yes. Right. Okay.
Everyone's worried to get.
Right. Absolutely. And then if I go to say Bing, or let's say channel news, let's go to Bing. Okay, Bing. What it does now is again, it search Malaysia, it goes to Bing. So boom, there you go. Look at that. Right? See? Now, so that's very important. The other thing is for the developers, if they want to take advantage of this, we call it the contract itself. So we give them the interface to do this. So if I pick so if you look at this, let me pick an app. So if I pick Straits Times, okay? If I pick Straits Times here, so that's an app that uses the search. Okay, say 0 here. There's nothing. The Star Online. So obviously, basically, it's popping up everything on Malaysia itself. Or let's go weather. So again, search weather, and Bing Weather is popping this up.
Okay.
See, right? So that's a neat thing to do with Charm and search.
I have a developer question.
Yes.
If I was a developer and I traditionally developed for the Windows desktop as before, would I have to produce two versions, one for the tablet and one for the desktop version? Would that mean extra work for me as a developer?
I guess it kind of goes back to the usage scenario, the scenario itself. Now for the Windows 8 UI, which is what we just shown you some of those
Obviously,
apps,
there's some development.
it's going to be Windows 8 in itself. Whereas again, you know, the millions of apps out there right now for Windows, will run on Windows 8. So the Windows 7 apps will run on Windows 8, and obviously that will be very likely desktop mode. So what we've seen is, more the consumer apps right now, where things like weather and e-commerce sites and all that are taking more advantage of the Windows 8 UI. So hence, there's a little bit of the user experience interface that they are building on top of to do that. So that's a lot of effort going through right now. So it does present a very good, a very huge opportunity for developers on Windows 8.
On the same line of what he asked, because the interface is similar to Windows Mobile. So, is it possible to share a similar framework or?
Okay, so that would be our ambition. That's where our vision is to get to a platform that does that. Right now, from a user experience, you start to see that the UI are similar, but essentially we are working towards.
And what about RT? How does that fit into the Windows 8
right, so
strategy?
Great. So RT it's a family in the Windows 8, basically in the Windows 8 family. All right. So with Windows 8, we have Windows 8, and Windows RT, and essentially and that's what we've been essentially working on, is that Windows 8 supports the x86 chipsets, which is Windows 8 itself, and then on ARM, that's the version of Windows RT.
So you got Integra and whatever.
Oh, absolutely. So again, the no compromise computing experience with Windows 8, right? Again, people might want light, longer power on a ARM chip device like this, versus hey, I want to be fully manageable in an enterprise environment with x86. So we're pretty much across the board. But from a user experience and all that, you can pretty much see that.
So this is RT.
Yeah, so this particular one is an RT device. And then in the Asia Pacific, we are launching about more than 50 different Windows 8 models. And some of them you can actually see in the experience zones in there. And that's what we are very excited with right now. That
Specifically, this is ASUS Vivo, right?
Yes, this is the ASUS VivoTab. ASUS VivoTab, and we have a couple there that you can
And
also
you work
try.
with all the, like the Microsoft, they also you have a mouse. You introduced the Windows 8
Yes,
mouse,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
So that will work with this one.
Absolutely. In fact, with this one,
You can test it out.
you can test it out too. You can absolutely test it out. So
I haven't opened mine.
yeah, absolutely. So in many cases, even with this mouse here, this pad here, it's also going to see. You see how the user. So you can do that too.
So like your Microsoft mouse, four ways going. So
Correct. You could do it this way, just like how you did it here. Yeah. Go ahead, try it. Yeah.
This.
Yeah.
How does that? I just need to get used to it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
Just a gesture this way. See? Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And somewhere to get used
Yeah,
to it.
exactly.
One move to one.
Yeah.
I mean, one way is to move the cursor, the other way is to get it to move.
Correct. Yes. And what you notice too is that
two finger.
correct. What you notice is that there's a lot of ultrabooks there that's being released with touch, right? So again, very light, thin. We've got some games there too.
So since this is since this is Windows RT, even Windows RT has a desktop mode, but the desktop mode only runs Office, right? For now.
Yes, that's right.
So like third-party developers, they can't develop an app for the desktop side.
Yeah. So in thinking through that too, so Windows RT will run best with the Windows 8 apps, and through the Windows Store. So that's where consumers will be able to get apps from for Windows RT.
How do I back out of the software? Now it's a weather.
Switch or you go to the start button.
Yeah. So after that, you go to the corner. See in the corner. So you look at all the different apps.
Oh.
Yeah. And I can go back to start. That's one. Or the other way is you can use this flag, right? Or here next to the child.
So the app is running in the background, or will it
See here, yeah, it is. So essentially, the other thing, have you seen Snap? So you can see when I snap a different app, I can do this as a snap. So in many cases, I can see all the different information. So essentially, what you could be doing is you could be reading your email, and I could be playing music or watching something on it. So that's what we call as the snap.
Snap. The snap only like it doesn't do half, right? It's just like
Yeah, it does.
this side or that side. Okay. And then so the
Can I have more
I guess
than
it's
one snap?
sorry.
Okay, you ask first.
No,
Yeah.
after
Can I have more than one snap?
No, I think this is the.
This is kind of a trivial question. Since we are no longer calling it Metro, so what are we replacing it with? Is it lifestyle apps or
It's so it'll be the
modern
Windows
UI?
8 UI.
Yeah.
Windows 8 UI?
Yeah.
Windows 8 UI.
Yes.
Okay. Officially.
Absolutely.
So the
Yeah, Metro is just a code name for us when we were.
the next version of Windows will
Everyone
use
called it Metro UI.
different-
Right. Sorry.
So if this called Windows 8 UI, the next version will use different UI or
Windows 9 UI.
yeah.
What is you're talking about?
Is it going to be called Windows 9 UI?
See you next year.
No, it is. As I say, we're very excited to see Windows 8, to launch Windows 8. It's a complete new experience, a new complete consumer experience, and you can see how beautiful, how fast and fluid it is. You can see the hardware innovation and also the apps that's been there, the creative apps that's there, the beautiful apps that's there. And for us, as I say, it is clearly a no compromise computing experience from all the different scenarios that people want to use PCs and computers for.
About 5 minutes.
The tile size is can be resized as Windows Phone 8 or the tile.
The tile size can be resized, yes, to Windows 8.
Okay.
Similar.
What's the smallest size available? This one.
This
Sorry.
This is the smallest.
Yeah,
size
that's right.
file.
Yeah, for this, yes, absolutely.
I got one last question.
Mhm.
The Windows 8 apps is only available through the store,
Windows
the
Store.
Windows Store.
Absolutely right.
But those that have like dual nature, like desktop mode, something like Firefox and the Chrome, I think the developer version of Google Chrome, basically both browsers,
Yeah.
they have, once you set it as default browser, it has the, not Metro, the Windows 8 mode, and then there's the desktop mode. But that can be downloaded separately, like from their own website.
Right. So I think we're still with Windows 8. We're still allowing applications to be installed.
The conventional way.
But the conventional way, whether you sideload the application onto the PC, like what we do today on a device, or go to the Windows Store to get all the new Windows 8 apps.
But the sideload for the desktop, like for the browser,
It's
the
primarily
third-party browsers.
for Windows 8, for Windows 8 UI enabled apps. So it'll be the new apps.
How many Windows 8 apps now on the store?
So essentially, as you know, this is the we're introducing the Windows Store. We have at this stage, hundreds and thousands of apps that runs on Windows 7 that will run on Windows 8. So that's what we have. Over the past 1 year, starting out with Build last year, we've been working with a lot of developers. In fact, over here in Asia Pacific, we've been working with close to 30,000 developers building Windows 8 apps. So every day you'll see thousands and thousands of apps coming through the Windows Store. And in each of our markets, including Malaysia as well, you see lots of the Malaysian apps being posted here. Right. So one of the things that we're excited about is that with the Windows Store, it gives developers in our countries a chance to also sell and monetize their apps across the world. Today we have close to more than 1 billion Windows users, about 600 million Windows 7 users, and that's really 600 million Windows 7 users. So that's a good install base for our developers. So we are very excited with that as well, in working with the developers in Asia Pacific to benefit and take advantage of the store.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. These are good questions. Thank you very much for that.
Jason.
And yeah, please feel free to let us know if there's anything else that we could provide to you. Are you playing?
Trying it out.
Yeah.
This is called
Yes, the cut the rope.
experience.
Yes. Yeah.